Shalom. Kalalal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Bashim Rakakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone and all the elders who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the brothers, the Akim, pushing this truth through the four corners of the earth in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. I say Shalom unto the scattered, the speckled bird, Israelites will be scattered among the four corners of the earth. And I say Shalom unto the few and faithful Akwat listening and learning. This is your brother Yerushalayim from the GMS Trinidad camp, coming at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakakodash. Alright, this is Zechariah 9 and 6. Alright, and a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. Right, and this video, I'm just gonna do this video on another video. I saw earlier today, with a journey. It basically is entitled "The Journey Along the Pilgrimage Road in the City of David." Right, in this video, that's two Edomites, a male and a female, going through the city of David, which I recently actually found the real city of David, and basically taking claim, that that's their ancestor city. All right, and these Edomites are bastards, right? We know Israel, never looked like that, like them, all right? So-called white men, right? And this thing is not it's not a carnal thing, because we know we have our people who look like them, all right? But it's a spiritual thing, and these Amalekites, all right? These fake Jews, these Jewish, they're in our lands right now, all right? So let me just in fact, let me just go to another scripture here in Revelation. This is Revelation 3 and 9. Right? Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So these Jews, these Jewish, they're not real Jews. They have the synagogue of Satan. They're the wicked, according to Malachi 1 and 4. All right? They're liars, Scripture say they're born and shortly thereafter they go astray telling lies. All right? And Lord going to make them come and worship before our feet. All right? This is Revelation 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, because according to the Deuteronomy 28, we're supposed to be poor. We're supposed to be, under tribulation, oppressed, right? And most of us bogged out our mind, and poor, right? But thou art rich, so these Edomites, they're rich, right? They're the richest people in the face of the earth. These two Edomites that we'll see shortly, they're probably related to these, in some way, to these elites, the 13 banking families that run the world, right? That own all the media, television, the media, radio, all those things like that. They own the music industry, of course. They own the sports, the various sports, whether it be football, basketball, as they say, soccer. They own these things. They run these things. They're rich. They're trillionaires. All right. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Alright, so they are devils, right? According to the scripture. So let's just skip into the video here. I won't play the whole of it. It's a 40-minute video, 41-minute video. I'll put the link in the description box.
Hello everyone. My name is Oria Dasberg. I am the Vice President of the City of David. I'm in charge of the excavations and the marketing development in the City of David. It is such a pleasure for me to have you today with me. I want to take you into one of the biggest secrets of the world. In order to do that, we're going to go inside the City of David now, and I'm going to introduce you to my best colleague, Doron. Come with me. Nice to see you too.
Don't come too close.
I won't. 2 meters. So, my friends, As I told you, we are now going to have a nice tour, one of the biggest secrets in the world. And in order to do that, I asked Doron Spielman, the Vice President of the City of David, to join me in a small, nice tour, just the two of us.
Exactly.
Because the coronavirus has made us into a very special occasion, meaning that usually this place is full with so many people, excavators, tourists, people running from all around in here. And today it's quiet. So we chose this quiet situation to take you into a nice tour, just the two of us, in order to show you what's going on here. What are we doing every day that we come here? Doron.
Yes, please. First, I think the main thing that we should speak about is where are we? We're in the city of David.
Yes.
And the city of David is ancient Jerusalem. And how can it be that the city of David is ancient Jerusalem if the old city walls are all the way north of us by hundreds of meters? And here, like you said, the greatest secret really is the city of David. The city of David, which is actually ancient Jerusalem, is located outside the walls of the old city of Jerusalem. That is the surprise here. For thousands of years, nobody understood that actually Jerusalem from the Bible is here.
Actually, this is where Jerusalem was born.
This is it. So the actual...
And Jerusalem wasn't born there, right? You know? Because Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, all right? You know? Jerusalem was born, you know, from Isaac, you know, because Jacob was Israel, all right? And Israel is Yasharallah. You know, and Jerusalem is what? Yerushalayim, right? Yerushalayim means he, the city of peace. You know, and that's referring to Yasharallah, you know, the prince of the power. Alright? He the prince of the power. And let's go to a scripture here in Revelation chapter 21 and verse 2. So alright, yeah. Okay, and I John saw the holy city, right? New Jerusalem coming down from power from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. This is talking about the elect, you know. This is talking about the elect coming down from heaven, you know. You know, and how they coming down? They're coming down in chariots. Alright, so this is not a literal city they're talking about here. Alright, it's talking about the people, Yasharallah. Alright, when we get our new bodies, Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah. You know, but these carnal Edomites, you know, they're speaking a lot of nonsense, right? Yeah, and the Lord, let's go to another scripture here. Hold on. It's Isaiah 52 and 1. You know, this will prove it again. You know, Isaiah 52 and 1 says, "Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem." So, could Jerusalem put on our garment? Could our city put on our garments? No, it's the people, right? So Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean, right? And these Edomites are unclean, you know. The wicked, they're heathens, all right? They're wicked heathens. Let's go to Galatians 4 and 26, right? No, actually, Salakia. Wrong scripture. Let's go back into the video here.
actual old city of Jerusalem is here. Let's go take a look.
Let's start.
Okay.
Doron, I think you're one of the most luckiest people working today in the city of David, because you were actually here when we found you're going to speak about.
That's true.
So I don't just want you to tell us what we see. I want you to share with our viewers what you felt when this happened.
If I go back to that day was 16 years ago, 2004. I was sitting in our offices in Jerusalem, and the head of the city of David, David Laberi, got a phone call on the phone from the Israel Antiquities Authority, from the archaeologist. And he said, you have to come right away to the city of David. Now, why were we in our offices? Because we knew there was a sewage leak at the city of David, and the municipality had come with tractors to fix the sewage leak right where we're standing right now. So we were in our offices, tourism was down to a minimum. We arrive at the site, and we find the Israel Antiquities Authority archaeologist, Eli Shukran, standing right here with a tractor just above him that was repairing the sewage line. And here I remember Ellie was down on his hands and knees. There was a sewage main, and just beneath it, we found the first curve of a stair that was uncovered in the city of David. The very first corner of a stair right here, and we began on our hands and knees with the antiquities workers to reveal these stairs and realize these are actual steps that are thousands of years old, which now we can see form a staircase that is 200 feet long that go into a massive pool, a pool that is the size of 2 Olympic-sized pools. Now, Oriya, you like to swim, but back then, 2,000 years ago, the Jewish people weren't known to be swimmers. So we asked ourselves, what are these stairs going to? What is it heading towards? And we realized that here, this double Olympic-sized pool is none other than the Shiloach pool, or the Siloam pool, as it is known, which is the major water purifying location for the Jews and the people of the ancient world. I would say just like you have base camp for people who are climbing Mount Everest, this was the base camp for the spiritual climb in ancient Jerusalem. Here you had people descending from around the world, purifying themselves as they headed on the...
And they weren't Edomites, all right? So you see Esau accomplishing a diligent search, that's like what the scripture says, right? But this land, that land is not their own, and they're glorying in it, but it's not theirs, all right? Let's go to the book of, let's go First Chronicles chapter 17 and verse 9, all right? Also, I will ordain a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, and they shall dwell in that place, and shall be moved no more. Neither shall the wicked, the children of wickedness, waste them anymore. And these are the children of wickedness you're witnessing right there in that video. Alright? As at the beginning, so, and they're not going to anymore. The Lord going to do that, and what nothing new on the sun, but it's just at this time when the Lord brings us back to Israel, we're never going to leave again. Alright? So this 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 10. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall the children of the wickedness afflict them any more as before time. So these children of wickedness, these Edomites in particular, were always afflicting us. From the time we left Egypt, right? And they're cowards. They used to come and attack us, at our back when we turn our back, all right. That's what they used to do. Alright? So let me just jump this video forward here.
Going up. So yes, this is one of my favorite places. But now that we have purified and we understand the tour that we're going to do, the pilgrimage road that we're going to take, and we bought everything we needed to buy in the duty-free, let's start the journey.
Okay.
Maybe before dawn.
Yes, sure.
Maybe just before we start, I want you to stop on the stairs there. Before we start the real journey up, I want you to discuss again and explain our friends what we see at the beginning of our walk.
With pleasure.
Okay.
Please, this way.
So what they're going to do, they're going to walk up these steps to the temple, Just seeing these heathens in the land, just get you angry, right? But hey, the time coming soon to your shy coming back. Alright? So let's listen here.
We'll say goodbye to the duty-free.
Yes, I'll come back.
Whatever deals we have, it's a 2-for-1 special today. Or yeah, they're desperate. There are no tourists here today.
Yes,
no
I know.
pilgrims today.
I'll come back. So let's stop here for a minute, just before we start, because this is an amazing story. And maybe again, Doron, you were part of the mission of the first force that came here and crawled down the stairs. And again, I can only be jealous, but please tell our friends here what you found here and what you felt when you find it.
This was a transformative moment in my life. The archaeologist of the Israel Antiquities Authority, Eli Shukran, and Professor Ronnie Reich had uncovered an underground tunnel. We didn't know that these stairs were here. And along with David LeBerry and a small group of people, we were an expeditionary force. We had lamps on our headlamps. We crawled through the tunnel, which is beneath this plexiglass. And we could see that there were stairs over our heads, and it was full of muck, and it had been there for thousands of years. We weren't sure where it led. But when we reached this location, we actually saw, buried in the mud, pots. The original pots have actually been returned to the site. They're beneath the plexiglass. We saw pots which were later examined and identified to carry the remains of food on them. And that food was dated back to the destruction of the Second Temple. Why are there pots underneath the ground, underneath the staircase? Well, now we know. The last 2,000 Jews of Jerusalem, according to Josephus, an ancient historian, were beneath this road. They were hiding and shivering in fear as Roman soldiers finished their destruction of Jerusalem, having killed more than 1 million people. They didn't give up, and according to Josephus, they...
And those were your people. Those were Edomites just like you, right? Roman soldiers, right? All of you all come from Esau. You know, so don't try to take yourself out of that one.
Heard people moving beneath these stairs. They took sledgehammers and broke through these stairs, which is why they're broken. They took out those Jews and they killed them. A image which is not unfamiliar to Jews, what happened in the 20th century.
And what he's relating here is the story in in 70 AD when they destroyed the temple. Alright? He said the last 2,000 Jews were hiding under the stairway, there were caves under the stairway. And that's where they were hiding. Alright? Yeah, this is in that time. This is Luke 21 and 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee into the mountains, flee into Africa. And let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter into. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Alright? But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. Let's hear the Edomite, talk about how our people had to hide 2,000, the last 2,000 of us. We hid below the step, alright? Below the steps, leading up to the temple, alright? And when the Edomites heard us and they realized people were underneath there, they broke it, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, which is what he said, they basically put all the remainder of them of Israel to death, right? Who hiding, right? And shall be led away captive into all nations, and that's what happened. Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, right? Which is what happening now. You see those Edomites in the Holy Land, right? So right now, trodden down. Who trodden it is those Edomites, those bastards, right? A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, right? And Ashdod actually is about, I think, about 53 miles west of Jerusalem, right? It's one of the largest ports in Israel. 60% of the imports come from that port. Alright? So it's trodden down by the Gentiles. Alright? Until the times of the Gentile be fulfilled. And we come into that time just now. Alright? We come into that time. So let me just jump back here to this video.
And they destroyed the people that were here, and the Romans thought that they were ending Jewish life in Jerusalem. However, we're back today taking you on a tour. The Jewish people have returned to Jerusalem. And I think this is
and that's a lie, because you're not a Jew. You're Jewish. That ish, that suffix, denotes something like something, or because you all basically the history of them, they were the Edomites, the history of them go back to the Hasmonean dynasty, where basically the Hasmoneans were the Maccabeans, right? They basically would have forced converted these Edomites, alright? And that and all came back to bite us, alright? Because look at them now. They claiming to be us, alright? He just said, look at us, we're back. And that's not true. That's definitely not true. Definitely not true. And we could see that, they came back through treachery, alright? The Balfour Declaration, 1948, alright? Well, Lord Balfour would have signed off the declaration, giving them these lands, right? And who was he? He was an Edomite and a Malachite too, probably, an Edomite, and they could go and check that out. The Balfour Declaration of 1948, all right, which gave them this the lands, all right, and we could prove, we could prove that, we could even prove that, you know, Herod, you know, so-called King Herod, you know, even in time of Yahushua, before Yahushua, and, you know, in time of Yahushua, the Herodian dynasty was ruling, right? And the Herodian dynasty were Edomites, you know, who were so-called following the laws, statutes, and commandments, you know. But we know Esau wicked, alright? And we could prove that. We could prove that. If we go to the book of Matthew, chapter 21. It's Matthew, Salakia, 2 and verse 1. Now when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. And if we go into this word Herod, let's go into the word Herod.
Strong's G 2264. Herodes. Herodes.
Yeah, Herodes. And that's we reading below here in the outline of biblical usage. Herod equals heroic, the name of a royal family that flourished among the Jews in the times of Hamashiach and the apostles. Herod the Great was the son of Antipater of Idumea, and Idumea is Greek for Esau, Edom. Okay? And we're going to see that in the book of Isaiah 34 and verse 5, right? Let's just go in 34 and 5, right? For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my cursed judgment. So let's go into the word Idumea. You already seen it here.
Strong's H 123. Edom. Edom.
Right, so here we go. Edom. Alright. Edom means equals red. Alright. Edomite, Idumean, descendants of Esau. Right? So there you have it. You know, descendants of Esau. So Edomites are descendants of Esau, you know. So they were Edomites in the land. Alright? You know, they were Edomites in the land. They were trodden down by Edomites, even in those times of the Lord. And if you want to go further and go back, you can go back to Genesis 25 and 30, and you can see where Esau got his name. You know, Esau was named Edom. You know, in Genesis 36, you know, give you the generations of Esau. Alright? So these Edomites, you know, they've been wanting to take our heritage, you know, which is what they do to most people on the face of the earth anyway. They take over their lands, they take over their identity. Right? So that's happening now, you know. These rats have taken over our identity, you know. We read that in Revelation 3 and 9 and 2 and 9 in the start. Right? And the scripture said that a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. So they are the bastards, you know. They are the bastards. They're the wicked. Alright? You know, and Israel doesn't look like that. You know, according to the scripture, Israel doesn't look pale or leprous like how those two people are. Alright? The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2 says, you know, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof language. You know, Judah is the same tribe that Yahushua came out of. Alright? Because the scripture say that it's evident that the Lord sprang out of Judah. Alright? So Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof language, they are black unto the ground. And the cry of Jerusalem is going up. So that same place where they walk in there, you know, it was so-called black Israelites walking up and down that place there, you know. You know, it was Jake walking up and down in that place, not you Edomites originally. Alright? And that's not your lands. Alright? You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite and a liar. Alright? So they're full of wickedness, man. Full of evils. Alright? You know, and it's so much war in the Middle East. Alright? You know, the scripture say, you know, when Israel returned to Jerusalem, there will be peace in the earth. Alright? There will be peace. Lord promised peace when He bring us back to Jerusalem. So if we were there, if y'all were the people, wouldn't it have peace? But no, it's only war going on there right now. And who was given the gift of the sword? Esau, Edom. Isaac gave him that gift. Alright? Let's go to the book of Obadiah 1 and verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith Yahweh power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh that an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. And that ambassador, was the former Egyptian president, Gamal Abdel Nasser, who basically said, it will never have peace in the Middle East because the Israelites went away black and came back white, so they know. All right, and some jakes, some of these camps believe that they had to go back to Jerusalem. Now they had to go back to Jerusalem, and they have to pick up life, in this time, with those Edomites ruling thing. That doesn't make any sense. All right, and it's contrary to scriptures. It's nonsense, really. It's folly. Right? So anybody with that notion, what to get that out of their head quickly. Right? Because the Lord is not with that. Alright? If we go to the book of Hebrews 13 and 14, it says, for here have we no continuing city. Right? Yeah, but we seek one to come, and that city to come is in New Jerusalem. Alright? It's in New Jerusalem. And guess who's going to be building the New Jerusalem? The New Jerusalem, as I said before, is a people another place, and we know the New Jerusalem coming down from the chariots, when the ICBM missile blast destroys Babylon, right? And the elect are taken up in those chariots, after everything, we're going to come back down. That'll be the New Jerusalem coming down in Revelation, right? The New Jerusalem coming down in Revelation 21, right? That we read in Revelation 21. Alright? So we seeking that kingdom. We're not seeking this kingdom ruled by those Edomites. But they're going to go into slavery. Alright? They're going to go into captivity, and they'll be the ones building up our cities and building up our homes. So all praises be unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakodash for that. Alright? So I think I'll call it a day there. Hope this lesson has been edifying. Kalayam La Alahaya Nawa Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakodash Wa Abad Babol Shalawam.